Welcome back to Yes, We're Together. We took a break. That doesn't mean we haven't been traveling. We just haven't made any videos. So welcome to episode number 2.
Julie actually wanted to see manatees. And so we took a trip to Crystal River, Florida, the manatee capital of the world.
And it's for good reason, because the largest concentration of manatees in the world hang out in Crystal River.
So let's get started.
My name is Andrew.
And my name is Julie.
And yes, we're together.
So Julie, for a long time, has wanted to see the manatees, and this is one of the things that's on her bucket list. And manatees are really peaceful, and we happen to live within 5 hours of the manatee capital of the world in Crystal River. So today we're going to take you through the whole process of what to do, what's available there in Crystal River, and where to go, and what are the best times of the year to see these manatees.
So manatees winter in Florida, which, hey, a lot of people do too. So that's kind of fun. They have the largest wintering manatee population in Crystal River. So there's over 200 in this one pod or group. I don't know, what do they call them?
Herds.
A herd. And it's appropriate because they're large and round and lovely.
Yeah, they actually look like rocks. When we first walked up there and the best place to go is actually the place that's called the Three Sisters Spring. And it's kind of costly, but it's worth it because the water is crystal clear. And it's amazing because these large animals, they literally look like large boulders.
When they're not moving, I agree. When they're laying down and they're kind of hanging out at the bottom where near the springs, it looks like a clump of, rocks.
It's amazing because these animals can actually hold their breath 3 to 5 minutes. And when they're sleeping, they can actually hold their breath up to 20 minutes. And so here are some video clips of these manatees as they come up for air. And they're quite graceful. And these springs, as you can see, are crystal clear. And people do swim with them.
Yes, but not me.
Yeah, the water is
cold.
actually...
It's only 72 degrees. So I don't want to, even with the wetsuit, that's too cold for me. So I was happy to watch the gentle giants, the potatoes with the tail.
When the Gulf of America gets cold during the winter, the best times to go see these gentle giants are November through March. So that's when the water temperature plummets and they all kind of head to the springs where there's a constant 72 degrees. And the water is kind of like a hot tub for them. And you can see that they all huddle around where the springs squirt out this warm water. So I kind of like, think about it as like being in a hot tub and we all kind of hover towards the jets. That's what these manatees are doing. It's just literally hovering towards these naturally warm jets of water. So some interesting facts. These manatees are huge. They actually eat every day 10 to 15% of their body weight in grass, seagrass, algae, and other types of aquatic plants. They don't eat any meat. They actually have teeth in the back of their mouth. And so if they ever come up to you and you can't touch them because federally that's against the law. However, if they come up to you and they gum you, you can actually feel a little bit of their gums in the front.
Yeah, I've heard that people get cuddled by these manatees sometimes. So yeah, you can't touch them, but they can touch you.
Huh, it sounds like a certain place that people go to. I do not visit that place.
Whatever, keep going.
Crystal River is the only place they can actually snorkel with manatees legally. And Crystal River is amazing because there's houses that are literally next to these springs. So you have these springs that are crystal clear at Three Sisters, and then it flows into the Crystal River. And then there are Floridians who live literally right there along the riverbank.
It's really nice. It's a really nice area to visit. It's pretty quiet. The foliage is beautiful. It's peaceful. It's nice. It's a nice walk. The trail is really, really the little park is really well maintained. They have raised walkways so that you can walk with, even you can push a wheelchair or a stroller. So it's very accessible for anyone to be able to see the manatees.
Yeah, it's really cool. But there's this one little boardwalk area where we actually can walk right to a little herd of a little group of about 6 manatees. And we literally are within a few feet of these manatees. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, they were in their safe space away from the people who were snorkeling.
Oh, that's right. So there are areas that are kind of like sanctuaries for the manatees. And so humans are not allowed to cross the rope. And so all these people who are basically snorkeling and waiting for manatees to come out and hang out with them are waiting at this rope line. And so all these manatees that want to rest, they kind of just swim into the sanctuary area, and that's where they're resting.
Yep.
So we recommend that if you live several hours away from Crystal River, that it's best to get a hotel. We stay at the Holiday Inn. There are actually 2 Holiday Inns close to Three Sisters Spring, and you can actually stay there. And we actually stayed with one, and it's affordable, but it's very touristy during the winter. So they were booked out, but we were able to get a hotel with about 2 to 3 weeks in advance.
It was touristy, but it wasn't too busy. We went in March, so it wasn't too busy. We were able to see the manatees no problem. I'm surprised that they were booked out because there wasn't a ton of people at the park.
So March is kind of like the end part of the season, because as soon as the weather warms and the Gulf of America warms up, these manatees are gone. So these manatees can actually plus up to about 600 during the winter. But when we went, there maybe was 60. So they were definitely a few of them, and they were getting fewer. And so the best time to go, I think, is February timeframe when the weather actually warms up. Surprisingly, Florida can actually get cold and miserable during the winter. So if you want to have a nice walk and just hang out and enjoy the weather, February and March is the best time to probably see the manatees. But if you go into March and it gets too warm, you're kind of risking it, because if you go during a time when it warms up, they may not be there.
Yeah, and then you're in a town with nothing to do.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and please make sure you like, share, and comment. And also, if you want to see us travel to different places and have suggestions, put them in the comments below. And also remember to hit the subscribe button so that you can keep up with all our recent travels and future travels. And I can guarantee you the next one is going to be super exciting, because we're going to the
Houston Rodeo.